some more join us in a minute. But I think, just for the sake of time, I think we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Regina Cross, and I direct our Spartan Pathways travel program here at the alumni office. And I'm happy that you're able to join us today to preview the Cape Cod and the Islands tour. And so I would like to invite Tracy Scheck she will be speaking on what you need to know. So go ahead, take it away, Tracy.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you all for joining me this afternoon. We have such a beautiful day. It's hard to sit at the computer, so I won't keep you too long. But I do want to go through your final documents with you and just kind of brief you through everything. If you can pull the document packet out and have things ready to take out of it. I have mine, like this packet that got mailed to you. Let's go ahead and go through the documentation that's inside here. If you don't have this with you or handy, feel free to just take some notes with a piece of paper, and we'll make sure that we get all the information covered for you. And if you have any questions, please just hold them till I get to the end, and we'll go ahead and open up, for questions. And anybody that couldn't be here in this meeting today, I believe, are we recording this, Regina? I think, yep, it's being recorded. So if you have friends that are joining you or anybody else who couldn't make the meeting, we'll certainly be able to share this information as well. So again, I'm Tracy Shank. I am with Premier World Discovery, and I am in Livonia. So I am also in Michigan as well, and excited and honored and proud to be part of the Spartan Pathways travel program. It's obviously being a Michigan girl. Michigan State alumni, and Michigan State is a huge part of my family. So very excited to be part of this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to do, and bear with me here, I got to get my, make sure there we go. My computer's changing. So very excited for y'all to prepare for Cape Cod and the islands. I just had a group return, had a magnificent time. This is such a oiled machine, this tour. It's everybody every year comes back, and it's just a really exciting, popular destination, and something so unique and different from Michigan, right? So July 13th, this is coming up. So as I mentioned, your travel documents contain all the information that you'll need. So we want to have this handy so I can kind of go through everything and make sure that you are all fully prepared. First thing we need to do, and I want you to make sure you do this, is in your packet is a blue piece of paper, and it has your flight information on it. So what you'll want to do is review your name first and last. Make sure it matches your driver's license, or make sure that's, because some people have a legal name and a different name they go by. So make sure that those match. If there's any conflict or anything that's incorrect, please let us know so we can make sure we get that fixed. And make sure to have your license with you the day that you're flying, obviously, but to have that information with you. On that blue sheet of paper is your flight booking reference number. You are flying Delta, so you can add your frequent flyer. If you're a SkyMiles member, you can add that information at the airport or in advance. If you're do a lot of travel with Delta, I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but certainly something to take advantage of. So check your names and all that on there. Also, if you want to go on the Delta website, you're welcome to do that, and you can use that blue sheet. So let's talk about Delta seat assignments. Now, I am actually going through, in your packet, there's a document that says important travel information and helpful hints. So my presentation is going to follow along with that document. So every slide I show you here is also in that information that says, again, important travel information and helpful hints. It's a folder. It's 4 pages, and that's what I'm following along in my presentation today. So if you want to write notes or kind of follow along, you're welcome to do so. So we are unable to select your seating. Years ago, all tour operators could actually hand pick your seats. That is no longer possible. The airline does all the seating. So we do request roommates be together. Generally, someone with the same last name will always be seated together, usually 99.9% of the time. But if roommates have different last names, sometimes the airlines will split you up. So please, in advance, feel free to go on the Delta website, look at your seating. You're welcome to change, or if you want to upgrade your seat, sometimes you can pay a little extra and move up closer to the front. Absolutely up to you. You can check in 24 hours in advance in select seats or adjust your seats, or if you're not comfortable using the website, you are absolutely welcome to just arrive the day of your trip and check in upon arrival. You have a reservation, so either way, I don't want anyone to feel pressured like they have to do that in advance, because you don't. But if you'd like to do that, you are certainly welcome to. If you want to upgrade your seats again, you can do that online, or you could even ask upon arrival when you get to the airport. Sometimes they have upgraded seats that might be available that you can purchase upon arrival. So talking about your flights, let's go ahead and go through your flight schedule. In your packet, there is a document. I actually just copied this from your documents. It says air and hotel information. It should say, look just like this across the top. It has 2 green bars. And this is very important. There should be an extra copy in your packet. That is to leave for family members if you'd like them to have an extra copy. Or a great suggestion would be to take a picture of this on your cell phone and share it with your family members so they have your flight information, they have your hotel information, all that as well. This is very, kind of your important information about the trip itself. So as you see, the flight schedule is perfect. We've got a Delta nonstop flight from Detroit to Boston. It does not depart until 1:53. My advice to you is please arrive at least 2 hours prior to your flight. We have so much construction in Michigan, and when you get to the airport, things can get a little bit busy, right? So I would certainly suggest arriving at least 2 hours in advance for your check-in. I would also suggest dropping off at door number 4 if you're having friends or family or anybody drop you off, or if you're parking there. Door number 4 is going to be the furthest, closest to the domestic check-in area, because if you get dropped off at door 1, you're going to have to walk all the way through the terminal. So just keep that in mind as well. And then on the return flight, you come back on the 19th, you depart Boston at 4:59, and you're back at 7:54 p.m. So it's a lovely nonstop schedule with Delta Airlines. And when you arrive in Boston on the 19th, go to the baggage area in the Boston Logan Airport, and your tour director will find you there. I promise. You'll see someone with signs. It'll say, Premier World Discovery. It'll probably have, MSU or whatever. It'll be all listed and document. They'll have it clearly noted, and they will find you. So I mentioned a little bit about Delta. They do have, if you have the Delta American Express credit card, you can use it for free bags. You can bring it to the airport. You can do this 24 hours in advance, or again, you can go to door number 4, use the kiosk and check in there. If you have the Delta Sky Miles card, you get free luggage. If you don't worry. You can take care of your bags at the airport when you get there, or again, when you check in the day before. There's also the Delta app is quite useful. You can download that to your phone, and I understand not everybody uses apps. It's fine. You don't have to do this, but if you're comfortable putting an app on your phone, Delta kind of will give you, hey, welcome to Boston. Your bags are at Carousel, whatever, it kind of gives you a little bit of text message reminders and things about the trip itself. So these are 2 very helpful things just to let you know if you have them, to take advantage of that information. So let's talk about your luggage. You are all allowed to bring, or welcome to bring, a checked suitcase, obviously, and a carry-on and a personal item. So let's first talk about your checked luggage. The luggage fees have gone up this year. They are now $35 per person per bag. So if you're checking luggage, again, as you're putting your budget together before you leave, remember that this is certainly, if you're going to check a bag, put this in your budget. It would be $70 round trip. It's just one checked bag, and they do not accept cash at the airport. So again, make sure you have a credit card handy to pay for your bag, or if you have the Sky Miles American Express, you can use that for free luggage. Under 50 pounds, now you're going to a warm weather destination, so you shouldn't be bringing any heavy clothing, but remember to keep it under 50 pounds. Again, you get a carry-on and a personal item as well. As far as your checked luggage goes, I would certainly, anything that you're checking with you, like sunscreen or liquids of any kind, put them in a Ziploc bag or some type of bag or something protective in your suitcase that in case from pressure things can explode or leak or what have you, you have things protected in your checked luggage. Also in your checked luggage, any liquids over 3 ounces, any bigger things or bulkier things you might want to like carry on the flight, like maybe a sweater or any that you can throw that in your suitcase as well. I believe you all got a red luggage tag, right? Is there a red luggage tag in there? Okay. This is actually not for the airport. This is for the hotels. This is so that when you get to your hotels and bags, we transport all the bags for you at the hotel, so you won't have to worry about it. But we need you to put this red tag on when you arrive in Boston, because what will happen is the sky caps handling your luggage know that you're part of our group, and maybe even just put your name, maybe your phone number on there, even MSU, a little something, just so they know which group, how to contact you. But this is, again, not for the airport. This is for the hotel. So it's kind of got a little flimsy thing here. So I would certainly put this on when you get to Boston, okay? At least when you get to the hotel, slap it on there so that they have that on there. And then, of course, your own identification is very important that you have on your bags and inside, outside. Another new thing people have been doing is typing their name and phone number and email and information on a piece of paper and just setting it on top of their clothing. And then they close their bag on top of it and zip it shut. That way, if somebody needs to go inside your suitcase to look for identification, it's right there. However, you have a nonstop flight and you're going to arrive early. So the chances of a lost luggage are pretty rare, but it can happen. So clothing and what to pack. So these are just some ideas for you to consider. You certainly need to check the weather, right? I always tell people before you travel, always check the weather so you know what to expect. But sunglasses, sunscreen, medications, phone charger, hand sanitizer, comfortable walking shoes are really important. And Regina mentioned to me, and I know I added it somewhere in the PowerPoint, about a refillable water bottle is so great to have because we can't obviously carry water through security. And it's expensive sometimes to buy water. And on the tour, we will supply water, but it is nice to put it in your own decanter that is that it's yours and it's nice and cold and stays with you. So definitely bring a refillable water thing as well. Comfortable shoes, comfortable clothing. If you want to bring something a little dressier, we certainly do not expect you to dress up, but you might want to dress up and go out to dinner one night, something like that. So kind of as you pack, keep that in mind. And I mentioned again, Ziplocs for liquids. A light jacket is always a good idea, even though it's summer. Sometimes it's cooler in the mornings and the evenings. If you wanted to go for a walk, take a walk somewhere in the morning or in the evening, you might be chilly. Bag for dirty laundry, again, identification, all that is pretty common sense stuff. Carry on and personal item. So I found this was kind of neat. I found this right on the website. So carry on and personal item are two separate things. So for your carry-on bag, I'm going to recommend, if possible, a backpack or a soft-sided bag, a duffel bag or a small tote bag, something like that you can easily carry with you and put overhead. If you're bringing a rolling bag with wheels, let's say you're not even going to check a bag at all. Some people, I give you credit, those that can do this. If you're not planning to check a bag, you just want to do carry-on, just be aware that they are starting to crack down on the rolling bags with the wheels. So they might actually take it from you at the door of the plane. So if that's the case, make sure you have like maybe a small tote bag. And in that small tote bag, maybe are your medications or your snacks, your phone charger, your earbuds, a magazine or a book, right? Or even your Premier World Discovery Final Packet, keep that with you. If you are planning to bring a camera bag or a CPAP machine, that is allowed as your second item. So carry-on plus a camera bag, or a carry-on plus a CPAP machine, things like that. And the refillable bottle, as Regina had reminded me, that's a great thing to have with you, especially in your carry-on bag, so you can refill it. Again, phone charger, earbuds, all those extra things. Hand sanitizer on the plane. And I might have a slide for this, I'm not sure, but you might see people wearing masks and keeping themselves obviously free of germs and things, and that's fine. But if you're planning to wear a mask, I definitely recommend an N95 mask. They're saying that the nurse masks, the little blue ones, are really not going to benefit you much. So certainly a N95 mask and then hand sanitizer is a great thing to have as well. Luggage tags with your carry-on. This is kind of, again, those tags are, yours is red. Really just make sure you have identification. And, since we're talking about, I know I briefly mentioned medications. Everybody kind of has a different thing. Like, medications are all over all over, the spectrum, right? You could have something that's really, really, you have to take it every day at the same time. It's really important that you don't miss it. Or there's those that are just vitamins, and you're, it's certainly up to you how you want to manage your vitamins. But if you're planning to bring the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, thing that holds all your vitamins, certainly you are welcome to do that. I personally, mine are all vitamins, so I put those in my checked luggage. I tape it shut, put it in a Ziploc. And then on me, when I'm traveling, I always have at least 2 or 3 days worth, but they really like them in their original bottles if possible, or pictures of the prescriptions on your phone, or perhaps, things just kind of typed out on a note card of what you take, how much you take, things like that. It's really up to you how you want to manage this. But if you take very strong, important medications, I would certainly keep them in their original bottles and keep them with you. And then when you go through security, if you get asked, you have all the information on you, okay? But yeah, it's really certainly up to you. And this brings me to like your carry-on. And again, when you're going through security, you're not allowed to bring any liquids over 3 ounces. If you have any liquids under 3 ounces, you need to put them in a quart size Ziploc bag. And for example, a small lotion, eye drops, a hand sanitizer, any little things you might be carrying with you, just make sure you throw those all in a quart size Ziploc bag. And of course, your carry-on will be your responsibility throughout the trip. So again, a backpack is really a good idea because then your hands free, or even a, one of those drawstring backpacks, things like that, just to have if you want to be hands free. But, don't overpack your carry-on so it's not too heavy. And of course, it says, remember the 3-1-1 rule, but that's liquids under 3 ounces, Ziploc packs, and then of course, security. When you go through security, if you have, say you're a TSA, you have TSA number, all that, then by all means, you just go check in and go whichever security line you need to go into. If you are not a TSA, don't have the numbers for TSA, that's fine. Just get in the regular line and line up, and then then the security process will be there as standard. It's pretty normal. Comfort on the plane. Here's a couple things I already had mentioned. If you wear a mask, again, N95. If you feel it necessary, some people use disinfectant wipes to wipe the seat area. Again, it really is up to you how important you feel that is and want to do that. Keep yourself hydrated. Beverage and a snack will be provided. It's a nonstop flight, but if you have special dietary needs, feel free to bring your preferred snacks on board. Maybe you need a granola bar, maybe you need to snack more. Nowadays on a plane, it's probably going to be coffee, tea, pops, juices, things like that. And then their snacks vary between the cookies, and nuts depend on the nut allergies on board, right? So they certainly do keep that in mind. Pretzels, things like that, they will supply. Now for circulation, I put in these little pictures in the bottom corner. I know this is not a really long flight, But I do recognize that some people do have circulation problems, like I am one of those people. And I certainly try to like move my feet in a circular motion. I try to stretch my legs a little bit. Sometimes I do need to stand up. So if you do need to stand up if necessary, once you're allowed to, obviously, then by all means, or if you need to use the restroom, by all means, you are welcome to do that. Wear comfortable attire for the plane, right? You want to be comfortable on your travel days and not, be in stiff, tough clothing. You want to be nice and comfortable. Planes can get chilly and planes can be warm, right? If you've ever flown, it can go either way. So be prepared. Maybe have a sweater in your backpack or in your carry-on. If you have to avoid dry eyes, if you wear contacts, you may want to consider wearing your glasses on the plane because you can certainly dry out your eyes. But if possible, keep your larger carry-on over and above so you have room for your legs to stretch in front of you. Your tour director, his name is Thomas Barron, and I threw in a little bit of information about him. And he has led tours in the Canadian Maritimes and New England since 1991, very long time. And these are some of his favorite. Cape Cod is one of his favorites. So he really, really knows this area, is very proud of this area, excited to share his stories and make your trip really memorable. So you will again meet Thomas at the in the baggage area upon arrival. He will be looking for you, and I'll show you. He won't miss you. So the very next thing in the helpful hint document talks about gratuities for your driver and your guide. Now, I will tell you this. Tipping is done at the end of the trip, kind of like at the end of a meal, right? We get done, we tip based on the service. So I'm going to give you the recommended amount. It could also be found in the important travel information and helpful hint packet. If you're following along, this is right in there. The suggested amount in our industry is $9 to $11 per person per day. So for 8 days, your total is anywhere from 72 to 88 total per person. Now, I want to mention to you, tipping is not required. No one's going to be looking and see what you're giving. It's absolutely up to you how much you want to tip or what you feel is comfortable for your budget. Do keep in mind, Thomas Barron is a contracted worker. He is not an employee. So tour directors like him work for their tips. So just keep that in mind when you're, considering a tip, because like the driver has a salary, right? He's a driver, he's hired for the company, but tour directors are contracted workers. So he's going to do a lot. Thomas will do a lot to make sure that you are very happy and pleased. Now, your driver tip, you are going to have the same driver from Boston all the way throughout your tour and back. So they also are going to be really helpful, maybe helping you get off the motor coach, pulling the luggage off the motor coach, making sure the bus is clean and doing their job and getting you from point A to point B. The suggested amount is $4 to $6 per person per day for 8 days. Again, 32 to 48 per person total. Again, if you wanted to tip. And then if there's any local guides, we don't have any step-on guides on this trip because obviously Thomas knows it very well. But sometimes if you go to a museum or you go somewhere and there could be a donation or a docent or thing, that's totally up to you. But I will mention this, that like you have 2 envelopes in your packet. One says tour director and one says motor coach driver gratuity. You'll see those in your packet. Personally, what I do is I get that cash in advance. I get an amount that I feel is comfortable. I put the cash in those 2 envelopes and I set it aside before I even leave for the trip. That way the money is there. I don't have to try to scrape up a bunch of cash on the last day. And I set that aside and put it in my zipper pouch. In the zipper pouch on the right side, there's another, like a little area here that's a zipper here. And that's where I usually hide my tipping, in the little zipper pouch inside here. So certainly you can put it in the safe in your room or what have you, but it's totally up to you. But again, tipping is customary, not required, but it is certainly a nice thing. So let's talk about your hotels. So I will have you know that we have 2 fantastic properties here. I want to first talk about the Le Méridien. The Le Méridien is a Marriott property. It is located in the heart of Cambridge. And I mean the heart. You are in MIT and Harvard, fabulous Harvard area, right? This is fantastic. The hotel actually does have a Muse restaurant for breakfast. And then in the evening, they serve food there as well. And then there's the Hub Lobby Bar. They serve food, and there's, you can, if you're one that likes to socialize in the evening, they're known for their La Meridian sparkling cocktails. So certainly a lovely property. We're just really there one night, but you do have that first evening free. So take advantage, get in there, maybe go for a little stroll in the morning or in the evening. But that's the Meridian. And then since you will be having dinner that night on your own, within, oh gosh, 0.3 miles, you can find Asian food, Greek food. 0.4, there's Cafe Luna, which is, I think, another like more of American style cafe type food. 0.7 miles is Yolina, which is Turkish food, kind of something unique. And then there's the Coast, I think it's Coast Cafe is what it's called, and it's soul food. So lots of options in the area. So it's up to you how you want to manage that first night. But that's your first hotel. Feel free to look on the website. It's a lovely website. And then your next hotel for 5 nights, which again, remember, we're transporting all your luggage for you as we change hotels. And then you're going to end up in Hyannis on the Cape, and you're at the Hilton, DoubleTree by Hilton. Lovely property. I think it's about an hour to an hour and a half drive between Boston and Cape Cod, but with traffic and that. But this hotel is 5 minutes from town. It is 1 mile from the city center. So 5 minutes is probably on the bus. And if you wanted to take a walk, maybe a nice 15-minute stroll to get into town. But this hotel has, a fitness center. It's got, indoor, outdoor pool. It has got the bonfire pits outside for seating if you want to come back and sit by the bonfire one evening. There are cozy areas all over the property that you can enjoy. They have the Vesta, which is casual dining and cocktails. They have the Vine Bistro, which is American cuisine with some wines, the Ivy Room for breakfast, and there's even what's called the Vine Bar. So, if you like to drink wine or you just like to socialize or even have some iced tea and sit outside and enjoy the evening, you can. They also offer room service. So those evenings that you're on your own, you'll have plenty to choose from as well. But take a look at their website. And then I mentioned daily hotel room service. And I only point this out because as time has gone on, we've noticed that that's changing a little bit. It used to be because of less staffing, which I'm sure is a little problem, but I think more than anything, the world is becoming more green and a little bit more conscientious of the environment. So there's less stripping the beds, washing the sheets every day. Remember those days they put chocolate on your pillow and fix your bed? So be aware of that. If you need anything, if you want your sheets changed or you need extra towels, please don't hesitate to ask. They will always help you, versus people saying, oh, I never got any room service. Well, it's really kind of the day and age, right? How that is. So do know that you're able to ask for anything you need. There are 9 meals included. So you'll have 6 breakfasts and 3 dinners. The breakfasts usually, and I could be wrong, but usually they're done at an open time. Like breakfast will be from this time to that time. You go at your leisure. You assume that's how they'll do it, the DoubleTree, but there's always a chance it could be plated and you're sitting. So just be aware that Thomas will announce what the breakfast, how they will be, but it'll be a full breakfast buffet, plenty of food. Our 3 dinners will be done as a group. So again, Thomas will let you know where and how that'll all work and when they will be and that type of thing as well. So it's a really neat experience. And when you're traveling with alumni, it's even more special. They really go above and beyond and treat you special. Deluxe motor coach will be on your destination. It'll be, again, like a motor coach you've probably been on, or if you have never, they're very lovely and comfortable and deluxe. Nice thing about your tours is not long distance driving, right? This area, the Cape is pretty windy, but pretty easy. So seats will be rotated daily, giving everyone the chance to meet new people and enjoy all areas of the motor coach. So be aware of that. I found these really fun pictures here online. I thought they were great. It's a lot of fun to do that because it rotates everybody around a little bit and gives you an opportunity to sit all over the bus. Smoking guidelines on the tour. In accordance with the law and in interest of comforts for our passengers, smoking is not permitted on the motor coach. And more than likely in the hotel is non-smoking as well. But On a typical day, there'll be allowed time for rest and lunch stops, giving those who smoke the opportunity to do so in the designated areas. So not a problem at all. Your tour director will advise where and when, okay? That way everybody can be happy with that as well. Temperatures in Cape Cod and Boston are lovely. On an average, I'm going to just throw in like an 80-degree temperature on average, right? Little up, little down. So before you go, I'm always big on reminding people temperatures are the most, before you go look at the weather, if you see maybe a little bit of sprinkles or something coming, be aware and pack accordingly, okay? Now, luggage tags we talked about, yours are red, but there's also the lanyards that I want to mention. So we, inside your packet, have given you a lanyard. You all see that, right? Those are inside. They look like this. You see the lanyard inside your packet? So these are really, really important because this is how your tour director is going to find you. So again, when you arrive in Boston, you want to put your name lanyard on. So the little white card comes out. There's a little white card, it comes out and it's blank. So I typed my name on the computer and cut it out and taped it right to the card, and I put it right back inside there so it's nice and neat. I don't have very good handwriting. These little cards are slippery, so you can't use markers because they smear. So either use a pen or you can again type your name. And what's nice about these lanyards, if you look on the back, there's a zipper. This is my secret to everybody. Put your room key right there, right? Or your credit card or your money because it's right on you, right? You can wear this during the day and it kind of has things kind of safe and sound against you. And but this is a really wonderful way to get to know people and get to know people's names. And we don't put your name on there because you might not go by your birth name. Might be something different. So like for example, my mom's name is Louise, but she goes by Wheezy. And we put, she's been on our trips before. I'm like, Mom, make sure to put Wheezy on there so people know what to call you. So make sure to have those on. So again, when you arrive in Boston, you want to put on that red luggage tag and you want to put on that lanyard so that the tour director can find you and get to know you right from the start. Okay. So the next paragraph inside the packet says good traveler code. So this is really important because travel, as we know, is unpredictable. We really don't know with travel, right? I mean, it's just the way it goes. So we remind you to just travel with an open mind and be flexible and have a really good positive spirit, because if there's any kind of change in the itinerary, know that your tour director and driver will work everything out and everything will be fine and it will flow perfectly. But definitely if there's ever a situation like that where something needs to be adjusted or what have you, just take a deep breath and know that our job is to make sure everything just runs smooth as we can. So it is certainly just a friendly reminder for you. If there's anyone needing special assistance, you can certainly, when you arrive at Detroit Metro, if you want a wheelchair, don't be afraid to ask for that. If you just feel like you can't walk to the gate or on the return flight, let's say that maybe your back is sore or you're just exhausted and you just can't, you just are like, I cannot walk through these airports. Please, please don't be afraid to ask Delta for a wheelchair or assistance. They will certainly, certainly help you. They're wonderful. And they have people that can, push you through the airport. That happens sometimes when people come back from a trip. I usually see more wheelchairs coming back because people are wiped out, but please know that that's certainly available. Let's talk about credit cards and banking information and money and things like that. So my advice to you is really to clean out that wallet and that purse, or even downsize your purse. I carry a big purse every day, but when I travel, I always carry a crossbody, very small, goes around my head, and I just take what I need. Same thing with you, gentlemen. Clean out your wallet. Make sure you leave those precious pictures at home, those, the Home Depot card, leave your Target card, your Kohl's card. You don't need any of that stuff. Only bring what's necessary. Bring your medical cards, bring your driver's license, bring your credit cards, things that are necessary with you. Combination of cash and credit card or debit card, however you, whichever you prefer to use. I don't carry a lot of cash with me, but if you do, maybe put it in the safe, make sure you have it in a good safe place. Take a picture with your phone or a photocopy of the front and back of your credit or debit cards, because, and you can even do the same with your driver's license. If one of them were to be misplaced, you have that information handy to, if you need it. Because on the back of every credit card it says, if lost or stolen, call 1-800 blah, blah, blah. But if you don't have the card, you don't have that information. So not a bad idea to have a picture of the front and back of that, as well as your driver's license. They used to say to notify your credit card company and that you'll be traveling. And many credit card companies are now saying we don't need to do that, because if there's a suspicious charge, they might text you or call you. But it's certainly up to you. If you feel more comfortable doing that, you can certainly do that. It's certainly a personal thing when it comes to money and credit cards and that. One other little bit of advice that I do have, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring an envelope or a couple extra envelopes for all your receipts, right? If I am very, very organized, so when I travel, I like to have all my receipts with me so that when I come back, I can double check everything and make sure. So just a suggestion for you as well. And then, of course, in case of emergency, this information is also in that helpful hints packet, the very back, travel information, helpful hints on the very back side. It says emergency telephone. This is not a bad idea to leave with family as well. Let's say your phone dies and nobody can get a hold of you, or you don't have your phone with you and you're out traveling one day and family needs to get a hold of you. They can call this 24-hour number and let you know, or let even Thomas know that, hey, someone's trying to get a hold of you for an emergency or a personal situation that you might need to know. So again, keep all that information with you. And again, family and friends, it's a good idea to let them be aware of that as well. Regina Cross also would like me to share her information. She is your lovely Spartan Pathways travel director. She handles all the travel. She's amazing. Her email and phone number are here as well. So this wouldn't be a bad idea to keep with you, and also maybe put this, leave this with your family members in case, someone just needs to get a hold of you or anything comes up. This is really, really important to include as well. Regina, before I finish up some of my couple slides, there's anything, since I'm on this page, anything you want to mention to them from your end?
Actually, I do. I have a couple things to add.
Great.
One of the things that I do suggest, if you are having someone drop you off at the airport, and Tracy mentioned this, what I have found, especially when the airport has been busy, and because you'll be flying out of McNamara, and that's a terminal at the Detroit airport, there is a sky cap usually on the outside of the airport. And if it is very busy and you have previously checked in 24 hours prior to your flight, that's a good spot to drop your bags. If maybe if you are driving to the airport, and one of you, if you're traveling as a group or two people, one of you drop your luggage, the other one goes to park, and you come back, and then you can drop your bags there. They can do that for you, and you won't have to wait in a long line, because some of the times that place where you drop your bags can be very, very long. So this might help expedite that process for you. If you do decide to add the Delta app to your cell phone, one of the things that's really nice with it is you can track your bags with that. So once you add your bags, or they take your bags, then what will happen is that if you have the app, it'll automatically add that to your reservation, and then it will let you know, hey, your bag has been loaded onto the plane. It's really nice. And then once you arrive, it lets you know it's unloaded. So that way, luckily you don't have a lot of connections, but it is a nice feature to have, just so you know where your bag is. Also too, regarding your luggage, if for some reason, say, a month prior you went, flew, overseas, or you flew out to the West Coast or wherever, quite often what they do when they put those bag tags on, there's a small little sticker that they'll stick onto the bag, and that helps them identify your bag. If any of those stickers are on your bag, make sure you take them off, because that's how a lot of luggage gets lost, is when they are scanning it, they might scan the wrong sticker. So please make sure, check your luggage, make sure all those stickers are off. Also too, I put it in the chat, but I did have exchange emails with your tour director, Thomas, and he wanted me to share with you his cell phone number. So for some reason the flight is delayed, or once you arrive at Boston, something happens. His number is 505-685-1707. Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to add.
Thank you for that input on the app and checking in outside. That's a really good suggestion. I always forget to say that because now the sky caps are back outside and they're
Yes.
want people to check in outside. It certainly does eliminate that line. So thanks, Regina. That's
Yeah.
so helpful.
Yeah.
And yeah, and pretty much, that we try really hard to schedule flights at times where maybe the airport's not so busy, but like you said, you really just don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and open up. Are there any questions, anything anybody wants to know, or any more information that we forgot or didn't share? Please feel free to ask. Anything?
Shall we ask this way, or should we
Sure.
put in chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
With the airlines, the reservations we have the seats confirmed on there. Is
Mhm.
that what's going to happen, or will we have to check? If we normally check in ahead of time and just go to the gate, but will we have to check in at the airport?
If you check in 24 hours in advance, you are all set. Your seats are all set. If you're good with those seats and you are set to go, you will have to, get those bags turned in, like Regina said. So if you would prefer to do it outside, out, with the sky caps outside, that's all come back. So, they're excited to help you out there. So what you could then do is just go right to the sky caps outside and have them check your bags outside. Then you go right to security. You wouldn't even have to get into the line at Delta. So that wouldn't be a bad suggestion for you. And tipping again, they do like their tips that, that the sky caps are handling your luggage at the airport. Just maybe have a couple singles on you or some cash on you, and they will appreciate it. It's a nice benefit to not have to stand in that line for sure. So yeah, you're all set. Good. I'm glad you have seats. That's great. That's great.
Another question,
Sure.
with clothes, are shorts for men acceptable for almost everything we do, or should we plan on wearing long pants?
No, absolutely. Shorts are acceptable, especially if it's warm, sunny weather. We want you to be comfortable. So certainly have shorts. You might want to bring a nice pair of, not dress pants, but maybe a pair of pants just if you wanted to go out to dinner one night together, or if it cools off a little bit in the evening and you want to have a pair. But absolutely during the day, shorts are fine for everybody.
Okay, next question. The hurricane, when is it supposed to hit Cape Cod?
Yeah, that's again, so watch that weather. It's supposed to hit Michigan is what I've heard. So I don't know about the Cape. Keep an eye on the weather. Like I said, pack accordingly. Just keep an eye on that. I know it's been all over the place. This hurricane needs to be done and over, right? So hopefully it will dissipate before you travel.
Okay, I think that's my only questions. Thank you very much.
Great. Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate questions are always good because then other people can, get answers as well. So
Yes.
I know we have another person on the meeting. If you have any questions, feel free to just step in and ask. We are recording
I'm good,
again.
thank you.
Yes.
That's
You
very
good?
helpful. Yes, very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
In terms
good.
of, the weather, well, not so much the weather, but in terms of flights, it's always important if you're coming from a distance to the airport to check ahead of time. Make sure that the flight is still on time. Or that it's still, for some reason, there might be some kind of delay, or they may cancel the flight. Usually if you have the app, they will notify you ahead. so that you're prepared for that, because I'd hate for you to get all the way to the airport and then, but if they're also too, Tracy, so say for example, the flight is for some reason canceled, will Premier be keeping an eye out on that and reschedule people?
Yeah, it depends really on the situation. Sometimes Delta, if that happens, now this is just so you know, this is a very popular Detroit-Boston flight. And it's usually one that is, got a high percentage of running because of the timing and everything. However, if they were to change it, Delta would reschedule everybody on a different time, and then they would inform us, and then we would inform you. So, at that last minute, if you haven't heard anything the morning of, again, just check the app. Usually if something like that happens, it happens pretty quickly. And sometimes we can't get a hold of everybody, but if there is a situation, we're on it the best we can. But it's say you're at the airport and you're all checked in and you're waiting to leave and it's delayed, there really isn't anything that Regina or Premier can do at that point. So just kind of keep in communication with Delta, or watch. Sometimes they change gates. That can happen. So really, really just keep a close watch on the gate, the destination, and if anything's delayed, that's where you get gate changes and things. So certainly just keep close to the gate and communication and all that as well. And we're here to help you when we can, but once you get to that point, the airlines will take care of you. Delta does a good job. But like I said, it's unpredictable travel. So we always pray that everything goes perfectly, and we never really know, but usually this trip seems to run smooth. And this is a flight we use a lot, and it certainly has been a good, popular flight and on time. So, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else about
Well, if
that.
you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I can certainly reach out to Tracy or someone at Premier to make sure that we get your questions answered. So.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you, Regina, for having me do this nice little document briefing. And again, we're all here for you, and have a wonderful trip and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, very much.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.
Everyone have a wonderful time. I wish you safe travels.
Thank you very much.
Go green.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that's
Thanks,
good.
Tracy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Hey, do you want to send the link out to the people? Do you want me to send that link out of the recording? I'm certainly happy to send that out to your people.
No, I'll send it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I'll
God,
have to send it.
you're so good and on top of things. I've got so many groups that I have to do all that work for
Oh,
them.
really?
Oh,
Wow.
so many.
Usually I just reach out to everyone and
lot.
send them. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Well, enjoy the day. Thank you
All
again. And this works really well. I'm comfortable doing this. I think it really just gets them prepared, the people that maybe aren't. And I always I never assume that people are super savvy and very tech savvy or travel savvy. I try to always remind people that, there's some people that are not. And I have to remind myself, right, as a traveler, like I think,
know.
So,
I know. I don't know how many people actually upload the app, but I
right.
do try to encourage people to do it because it's so helpful.
Me too. It is so helpful. We're so lucky to have Delta as a hub here. It's so
Yeah, I
helpful.
know. I love Delta. I'm
Yeah,
a Delta
for sure.
girl, as I always say. I'm a Delta girl. So.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
Anyway.
Regina, good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
enjoy your summer, and then let me know if anything else comes up. I'm always here.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.